What's good, YouTube? This is BoxingWave, and I just wanted to make a quick video, real quick, on Shakur Stevenson potentially fighting Lomachenko in the future. All right, this is not the first time this has come up from Bob Arum. This is something that we've been talking about for at least a couple of years now. We knew, like, at some point that most likely Shakur and Lomachenko are gonna fight each other if he were to go up to 135, right? And Shakur's got a fight coming up soon against Robson Conceição, and it's a pretty good fight. Conceição fought Oscar Valdez and looked very good against Valdez. A lot of people felt that Conceição actually won that fight. It was a pretty close fight. I thought it could have gone either way. But Shakur is going to be fighting him soon, right? He's going to be defending the two titles that he's unified for at 130. Now, I've always wanted Stevenson and every other fighter, for that matter, to try to become undisputed. I would like Stevenson to do it because I don't think there's ever been any rush to go up to 135 if he can have the opportunity to get more fights in, improve on his craft, his skills, and have an opportunity to become undisputed at 130, especially because most of the fighters at 135 don't fight each other anyway. What are you going to be rushing up there to do exactly? You're probably not going to get a Tank fight. You're probably not going to get a Ryan Garcia fight. You're probably not going to get a Devin Haney fight. So with that being said, why rush up there? Become undisputed, and at some point move up. Now, I don't know how possible that is, because you have Joe Cordina, that is a champion. All right. You have Roger Gutierrez, who's also a champion. They both fight on different networks, so I don't know how that's going to work. And those are not, like, highly demanded fights. Like, they're good fights because they're both champions, but I don't think those are fights that Stevenson needs to prove himself in his greatness. I think he beat the other best guy at 130 already by beating Oscar Valdez. Like, he went straight for him first. All right. So he is a top dog at 130, but I would like for him to become undisputed. But if there's an opportunity and there's a window there that he can face Lomachenko, especially on his introduction to 135, if he is to go to 135 and beat Lomachenko at 135, that'll be a great statement. Now, again, even though there's a lot of fighters up there with a lot of names, a lot of talks that's been going on with all of these guys, with Tank and Ryan and Devin and Kambosos and all of this stuff. With all of that being said, there's still, I don't think any of those guys are going to be standing in line to fight him anyway, but it would still be a great win to have, especially moving forward, especially because people already consider you to be a top 10 pound for pound now. If you are to beat Lomachenko, that would be a huge statement. And I think if there is an opportunity to fight Lomachenko, I'm not going to say, well, to stay at 130 and not fight Lomachenko if there's the opportunity there to fight Lomachenko. All right. Now, Loma's taking off. He's coming off a couple good wins since losing to Teofimo Lopez. And he took a little break because of the war in Ukraine. All right. So he took a little break. And he's going to be returning soon to fight who, I don't know. But whatever fight that is, I'm sure it's going to be preparing him for the next big fight. Whether it's the winner of George Kambosos and Devin Haney 2, or whether it's Shakur Stevenson, we don't really know. I don't know what's going to happen with Shakur, But again, if there is an opportunity that he can move up and fight Lomachenko at 135, I think he should go for it, or any big name at 135, I think he should go for it. But if those opportunities are not there, like if you can't get a Ryan, you can't get a Devin, you can't get a Tank, or you can't get a Lomachenko, then stay at 130 and do your own thing and try to push for an undisputed fight if it's possible. All right, with all the politics. All right, so that's really all the way, like, I can see it. The only way I can see it. One thing is, if Loma comes back on his return fight and George and Devin Haney have their rematch, and then the winner is available to fight Loma, What does Loma do in this situation? Does Loma fight Shakur Stevenson that is willing to move up to fight him? Or does he fight the winner of Devin Haney and George Kambosos? I would think that Loma would fight the winner of Haney and George Kambosos because there's a hell of a lot more on the line there to become undisputed, right? Because that will be the undisputed champ, whoever wins that fight. I believe Haney is going to win the rematch. We don't want to see a rematch, but that is what happens when there's a rematch clause and business. All right, so there's a lot of options there. Again, you know, I still think that Loma is a top dog. I don't think we talk about him as much now because A, he hasn't really been active. He's taken a break from the sport to focus on more important matters. And B, there's so many names in the division at this point that we tend to forget about Lomachenko, you know. And none of them really want to fight him. You know, I believe Devin is willing to fight him. We knew that Tio wanted the fight, but when it comes to Ryan, when it comes to Tank, they're in their own world, right? I'll do a separate video on that soon. All right, so anyway, that's how I feel about this whole thing, this whole scramble between Shakur. Shakur fights Conceição, would be a good win if he is to pick up that win. I think he's going to beat Conceição. But he has options. He has options to stay at 130. If he can't secure a big fight at 135, I personally don't believe there's any point of moving up to 135 if he can't secure a Loma, a Haney, a Tank, or a Ryan Garcia, in my personal opinion. All right, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.